Wore my best clothes today.
All right. So these are Italian bees, you said?
Well, sort of.
Italian-American bees.
Yeah. I smoked them, so they'll probably stay inside for a while. These are deeps. These are called deeps because they're deep.
Right.
There's this is called a medium here.
Okay.
Usually, although I don't follow all the rules, guidelines,
Right.
the deeps, these tall ones is where the queen lays her eggs, and that's where the babies are, or the brood,
Right.
if you will. And then once you start collecting honey, you put what are called honey supers, as opposed to deep supers.
Okay.
And not that bees know that any difference, it's just they tend to store their honey on top. As you put these boxes on top, they'll fill those with
the
honey
higher
and
ones.
keep the brood below.
Okay.
Now this was a swarm, so the queen right now is just laying eggs, and the population is not what it will be. By the end of the summer, we'll have probably both these boxes filled with bees, and maybe one of these, although this year we're not going to collect any honey. I want them to build up the strength, high population, so we can survive the winter with enough food, healthy babies, and that sort of thing. So, let's see what's going on. Now, this was a swarm, so I fed them fondant.
Okay. Only the finest sweets for them.
And some honey that I had from, you can see they're
Chowing down.
chowing down. Yeah. So I had some of these old honey jars filled with honey. They've eaten it because right now they're probably making new comb in there. And you notice they're pretty friendly. I'm sticking my hand in here. They don't care.
And so that's just extra supplemental food to get them
Right.
started.
Right. So this is honey from my other bees, which they make honey because it's food for them.
But fondant, that is from their pastry chef friend.
Actually, it's not. This is not the kind of fondant you put on cakes. It's similar. This is actually made to feed bees in the winter as an emergency food. But I had some left over. Obviously, I dropped it, and so there's grass all over it. So it's similar. I mean, it's for human consumption too.
So how did you catch this swarm?
I went up to the tree. This football-shaped collection of bees had been living in the rain for 3 days, believe it or not. And I just went up to the tree. It was about a little over my head. I cut the branch, carried the football. It was a cluster. It looked like a football. The queen was inside. I just brought her over to one of these boxes and went bang, and they all fell in. That's it.
And now there they are.
And I wasn't wearing any equipment, so. They tend to glue everything together. So, there we go. You can see that most of them are down here. And should I chance it? Should I chance it?
It's up to you.
I think I'll smoke this. Making smoke. And when bees are smoked, that is, they smell smoke, instead of using a match, I cheat. Smoke calms them down. In fact, they start eating. And bees who have a full stomach are very calm, happy bees. Smoke also affects their ability to smell.
And what are you burning? That's just like grass or?
This is white pine needles.
Okay.
Okay. You see this here?
Yep.
That's called brood. There's baby bees inside each one of these cells. This happened since I caught this swarm. The queen, she's in here somewhere, laid eggs in these cells, and the larva has grown large enough where the bees cap this. It takes about 21 days for these bees to be born. So each one of these cells is a new bee.
Now, is that in that frame? Are those cells synthetics just to kind of get them started, or that's
No.
They made those cells?
They made these. This is beeswax.
That's
they
great.
made all these. The base here, the foundation here, is really wax coated with beeswax.
Okay.
That's just to get them rolling.
Right.
So this is pretty good, actually. I don't know if you can see, like this cell here.
Yep.
There's a larva inside. I don't know if you can see it. It looks like a grub.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
Okay. So that will eventually turn into something that looks like a bee, a pupa, and then the bees cap it.
Okay.
And wait for the bee to break out by itself. So this same beeswax cell structure is also a place where they store their honey. So that's what you see, the glitter.
Shiny glitter, yeah.
Is actually nectar that has from flowers that has been processed by the bees. They have a special stomach. They swallow the nectar, mix an enzyme that their bodies produces. They regurgitate it and put it there. And when that glitter stuff, which is really honey, it's not been capped yet. When the moisture content goes down to about 17%, they'll cover the honey with beeswax to prevent more moisture from going in there.
Just keep it safe and
that's honey.
cool. Sweet.
Yes, it is. Okay. So this is a colony that's on its way to being very healthy, it looks like.